Welcome into Cheap Book Review. I'm Eric Stafford, taking the time to talk about my reading habits, which I hope you're reading as well. One of the best things about Caldwell County is our public library, and we always encourage you to go there. They can get just about anything you want as far as books go. You can go to NC Cardinal and do it online and order books to be sent to the Lenoir Library, Hudson Library, Granite Library. And you can have those sent there, whichever one's nearest to you, your home library, all for free through the use of your card. And you can also go online and read books through Libby and Hoopla, two digital apps that you can do. I would recommend, if you're a night owl like I am, that you wait to check out books from Hoopla late at night, because right after midnight, because apparently all our borrows for the county get barred up really quick. So I just had to do that. One thing about Hoopla is Hoopla carries comics. They also carry, so you can read comics for free. I mean, a lot of people, I was just telling my cousin the other day, saw him out and about, and we were talking about it, and he's like, comics are so expensive now. And I was like, dude, you need to go on Hoopla, get your library card, go on Hoopla, and you can read all that stuff for free. Most everything on there is free. You don't ever have to pay for anything, but what I'm saying is the content might not be on the app. But if it's on the app, it's free, and you can check it out and read it. This is October. It's already fall. We're starting to feel a little chill in the air in the mornings, maybe. Not so much in the afternoon, but we're feeling that. And so on BookTube, Book Talk, whatever you want to call it, the big thing this month is Occult Detectives. And so for Halloween, doing Occult Detectives. Now, one of the biggest occult detectives that I know or that I follow would be Hellboy. And Hellboy, created by Mike Mignola back in the 90s, and has just blossomed. Has had 4 movies already and working on a 5th, 2 animated movies. But I really do enjoy Mike Mignola's artwork, which is how I got involved with reading Hellboy to begin with. And then the stories have been excellent. I remember reading the first one, Seeds of Destruction, and when it came out, as it came out in the early 90s, and because it was a month-by-month issue thing, it was like 4 books. And I remember as that came out, I was thinking, frogs? What's so bad about frogs? Because frogs were like one of the plagues that attacked, actually, Professor Broom, the man that raised him. And so I was really intrigued by some of the things that Mignola used, that he went through legends and histories and picked up all this stuff and has used it in Hellboy throughout. Now, he's written most of Hellboy. I think other folks have written it too, or has written it as well, but he kind of oversees it and kind of keeps people from just randomly doing something. If he thinks it sounds like a cool idea, he lets them do it. But it's all creator owned by Mike Mignola, and he had the first 2 movies, and Guillermo del Toro directed and wrote, and then he was going to do a 3rd one where it kind of wrapped up the whole story, and he's like, no, I got a story. Mike Mignola was the originator, and he's like, no, I got a story. Let me do my story. And so he did his story first, but now they're saying that Guillermo del Toro is going to come back with Ron Perlman and direct a new one. So that will be the 3rd one and finally wrap up that trilogy that's kind of got interrupted a little bit, but it will be the, I guess, Guillermo Toro trilogy. So, you know, and Guillermo del Toro, he's gone and done The Strain and other things. He's done all kinds of stuff. But he's big into that Lovecraftian horror. If you've never read any H.P. Lovecraft, it's always involving like octopuses and giant creatures, elder gods and creatures and stuff like that, cosmic deities, that cosmic horror. And so that's, you know, that's always something to check out, some H.P. Lovecraft. I read some as a child, and but he gets, everything's about madness. Everything's about madness. Anyway, Mignola and Hellboy is a lot of Lovecraftian stuff there. But anyway, what I've been doing, I got my fancy witchy looking Kindle case that I got from Lenore Service League like 2 years ago for $1. And I got my Kindle out. I've got some books I've been downloading. There's always sales. I don't know about you guys, but there's always like $1 book every day. If you sign up for any of the $1 book things or anything like that, there's always like tons of books that are up there for free. Now you can do Kindle Unlimited. You can do that stuff. If you don't want it on a Kindle, if you're like, because a lot of people are upset with Amazon and not being able to own their digital books, you can go to the publisher of the book, and 9 times out of 10 they will have it DRM free. Now DRM is a digital rights management, and so they won't have a copyright on it. They won't have it, it's got a copyright, but it doesn't have something that's going to keep you from copying it from device to device. So you could copy it on all your devices or download it on your computer and just hang on to it until the day you do want to read it and see. So what a lot of people are upset with Amazon now is the Kindles have basically become like your phone, and the books are like Spotify. You're not really owning them, you're paying for a subscription. And so a lot of people are upset by that because they've been buying books on Kindle for years, and now they've just started doing that. There's ways to hack your Kindle and make it your own device and that type of thing. Right now that's currently blocked, so good luck with that. There are other e-readers like Kobo, which is from Canada. There's Pocketverse, which is more European. There's Books, which is the Chinese one, and I haven't bought a Books device yet, but I would like to one day because they have Android on it. The easiest thing to read on by far would be an iPad or an iPad mini, because you can read everything in Apple Books. You can read EPUBs, you can read whatever type of file you want. And you can go and get the app for Kindle, you can go and get the app for Barnes & Noble, you can go and get those separate apps, so you can basically have one device and read everything on it. And Kindle kind of locks you into their universe, and so hopefully hopefully it'll get back to one day to where you can kind of do what you want to do. Now, saying that, let's break open the Kindle and see what I've got going on. Right now, I don't know if you saw it or not, but we had Brian Lumley is my what I've been reading, Fruiting Bodies and Other Fungi. Now, Brian Lumley is known for the Necroscope books and how crazy they are, so he's been known for that. And so yet more horror stuff. I do like horror stuff the rest of the year. It's just when it's creepy time of year, I just really get into it. I've got a couple of samples of some Hellboy books. Now there's one that's a bunch of stories by different authors called An Assortment of Horrors, and I've actually been listening to that book because I got it through Audible, and so I've been listening to that one. And the guy that's doing the voice acting on Hellboy is really, really good. And I've kind of been, because it is Occult Detective October, I've been studying up on Hellboy some more. Probably get into some John Constantine, who's known as the Hellblazer in DC Universe. He's kind of like their Doctor Strange, and I'll probably get more into reading some of that sometime later. I've always enjoyed Constantine. And another big comic book, to movies, to TV, to everything, The Walking Dead, and I've been following that. I still haven't watched every episode of The Walking Dead. I've watched every episode of the original show, The Walking Dead. I have not watched Fear the Walking Dead, the World one that had the teenagers. I haven't watched all of that. I haven't gone back and watched all those, which most of them are on Netflix, so you can go and watch them on Netflix or AMC. But there's so many episodes of that I just like, that was a long time. 11 seasons is a long time anyway. But anyway, there was some books that were done during the show about the governor and some of that stuff, and the rise of the governor and how that all happened. And so I've been going back to read those books and see what that's about. It has more stories about the governor. And if you ever watched Walking Dead, and that was kind of when it was at its height, was when the governor story, they were in the prison and they were fighting the governor, and that was kind of at Woodbury, that was kind of the height of the TV show's craze at the time, and a lot of people were very upset after those seasons, but because a lot of characters died, didn't need to, they just fired the actresses. But if you've ever read the comic, please do yourself a huge favor and read the Walking Dead comic. If you like Walking Dead at all, read the comic. It is the pure thoughts of Robert Kirkman, the guy that wrote it, and it's not diluted by actors, directors, producers. It's not diluted by any of that, and it is totally different from anything that you have seen. It's a lot stronger. It's a lot worse. Maybe a little more splatterpunk. Not too bad. I mean, you see a lot of gore and stuff in the comic that Charlie Adlard would draw, but it is just a little. It's just a little bit more, and it's so much better than the show turned out to be. So, after they killed Glenn, spoiler alert, years later, after they killed Glenn, and they teased it for a season, and then finally killed him, then they kind of lost their audience, and they just got to do whatever they wanted to do. Then Rick left and all this stuff, and when Rick is the book, and that's why it's not being published now, is Rick is the book. It is being published in a colorized version. They're finally going back and colorizing it, because the original take on The Walking Dead was that it was Night of the Living Dead. It's just like George Romero's Night of the Living Dead from the late 60s. It is that world, and so instead of, paying George Romero to use Night of the Living Dead, they just changed it to The Walking Dead and changed all the stuff. And if you look at the type font for the comic, it's the exact same font. It's the exact same kind of hand-drawn font as Night of the Living Dead. And then the entire book was in black and white, like that original movie. And then now they're going back and doing Walking Dead Deluxe, and it's coming out once a month. And they've colorized it and done it in actual comic book color this time around. And it's not been reprinted in color yet. So Robert Kirkman is nickel and diming everybody at $3.99 a month. He's nickel and diming them until, I guess, they get it all done, and then they will finally release it. But I've bought Walking Dead in so many different formats by now, it's crazy. But the original comic, the original stories, are by far better than what they ever showed on TV, and a lot more gruesome in some ways, so if you like that. But that's why I was going to pick up the books. I'm sure this guy wrote this with Kirkman's permission. I don't know how much he spent time with him writing it, because I know he was in the middle of writing Invincible, Walking Dead on TV, Walking Dead in the comics. He was doing all that at the time these books come out, so I think he kind of gave the guy a kernel and let him run with it. I'm also one of my favorite movies as a kid was The Black Hole. And The Black Hole is it's basically a haunted house in space. It's kind of a cross between it being a haunted house, and it's kind of a cross between that and then also 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So you kind of got a little mismatch of things. And the movie tanked. It did horrible in 1979. It was Disney's answer to Star Wars at the time. And it was the first PG movie that Walt Disney had ever done. Well, I'm trying to get through, and I shouldn't be trying too hard, because it's been pretty easy to read so far. But Alan Dean Foster had written a treatment of the book. He did the novel of that, and I picked that up and have been reading that. Now, that's another thing. I got that off Internet Archive. I didn't pay $1 for it. How many times have I bought that book in paperback? 2 or 3 times, probably. But you can go to Internet Archive, you can get that, you can move it to your Kindle. I got it on my Kindle. I'm reading it that way. I mean, you can buy books or you can go around it. It's entirely up to you. I'm not telling you to steal. I'm just telling you there's free stuff out there. There's the Libby, there's Hoopla, there's the stuff that you can get from the library. There's ways to read that stuff for free without having to spend a lot of money or go crazy. So, and another thing is, I've been big into giant robots like Battletech, and I've been interested in that, so I picked up a couple of Metal Warrior books that were out the other day for on the cheap, super cheap. and a couple of haunted books like the librarian at the haunted library. You know, I might read it eventually, but you know, some of these things, they just, you know, they come and go, and especially like the time of year it is, like on Kindle, the Kindle store, they'll have stuff and it'll be like 99 cents. That's why I subscribe to all the little science fiction and horror book of the day things, and they'll tell me what books are available, and I get like 2 or 3 of them, so usually they are all the same, but I get those little indications that, hey, this is like gone to 99 cents or something. And if it's like a classic book that I've had on my wish list for a while, then I'll just, when that comes up as 99 cents, I will snag that and I will put it in my library. I might not be reading it today, and it'll be on my TBR or my to be read list, but it's there. I've got it. And I do try to copy my files off to my computer and do that stuff so that I have them there. But I'm really been enjoying going through this month with the occult detectives. That's right up my alley. That's my kind of a thing. So I'm looking forward to that. Now I've heard like November's supposed to be like a spy month, like Dr. November, like spy month or something, which I actually, oddly enough, picked up some James Bond books. Some of the original James Bond books by Ian Fleming were like super cheap last month. Were like, you know, normally they're like $10 and they were like $1.99, and I picked up like 2. But anyway, so got a chance of reading those original Ian Fleming books and going through that. But I try to read every night. I try to read a little bit every day, and I do enjoy it. I enjoy reading on the Kindle by far more than anything. There is an app called Calibre, and you can download it. And Calibre is like for you to move files to and from your Kindle or any other e-reader you got, like a Kobo or something like that. And I do really enjoy that software because you can go and get news. You can go and get like the AP Wire, BBC News, CNN, Fox News, whatever you want. But you can go and download those, and it downloads it as like a book to your e-reader. And so you can check the news and say, grab the news. It grabs all the news to the news outlets that you like. And then, like, I got New York Times book review on there, you know, just in case there are movie reviews, in case something comes up. And so in this spooky season, you can kind of go and read the news, but you can read it on your Kindle. That's a lot better reading experience than on any kind of CRT monitor or any of that stuff. It just seems like it's a lot calmer because it's got the e-ink paper, and it just seems to be a lot easier on your eyes. But I do really enjoy that, and that's like something that I don't understand why Kindle doesn't do that anyway. Why you can't just get news and it'd be faster than a magazine. I mean, you can get the daily news on it. You can go online and do stuff. It's just the browser on these things is like incredibly slow, so you can do that. I've even found some Harry Potter fan fiction that was like some romance between Draco and somebody else, Draco and Hermione or something, which somebody had put on here. I saw that on TikTok, and just went and it showed you how to go and download it onto your Kindle reader. But I can't emphasize enough how much I really do love the Kindle as a device. I wish they were a little more open with their stuff and would make things easier to do. But that's the world we're in right now. I haven't picked up a Kobo, which is Canadian. You can get Kobos around here. I've even seen some for sale around here. And you can get some of the other ones. And then if you use that Calibre app like I'm talking about, then you probably have more of an easy run with stuff. Some people have been jailbreaking their Kindles, which now it's hard to do. Right now there's no software to do that. And so they could put whatever they wanted to on there. There's a reader version called Kual, K-U-A-L, Kual, that you can put on and read that way. And you can change a lot of things in it that like Amazon just doesn't let you do. But like I say, probably the best e-reader all around that I would think would be an iPad. You can even change your tones on the lights and stuff. So if you think to get it closer to an e-ink look, but definitely the Android tablets by Books and BigMe seem to be the smartest one, because then you can use those apps like Hoopla and Libby, and you can use those Barnes and Noble. You can use the ones for every different retailer, Kobo, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, Kindle. You can use all of those on the one device, and that probably makes it the best e-reader overall. But I do like the e-ink device, and I'd like to pick up one of those BigMe's or Books someday, but and see how that goes. I know it's Chinese technology, but isn't it all a little Chinese technology? I'm just saying. That's where most of it's made. Hopefully that'll change here in the future. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of chime in and say this is what I've got going on, what I'm reading. I've been reading Hellboy, and right now I'm reading Fruiting Bodies and Other Fungi by Brian Lumley, and Black Hole. And I've been just kind of picking through. I do like a short story book, and the Hellboy an assortment of horrors and Fruiting Bodies are both anthologies, and they're short stories, and I like that. I like reading an anthology, and just seems to go quick. It's not a long story. It's not a big drawn out anything. Just a little fun and go on. So, well, I just wanted to check in and see what you guys were reading, see what you had going on. We recently went and saw the movie Good Boy, which is about a haunted house with a dog, but it's all from the dog's perspective. That was playing over at the Golden Ticket, and we went and saw that, and it's a very short movie. It's only like an hour, but it was a different take on that. So Good Boy, worth your time. I don't know if it's the scariest movie in the world, but you have pity for the dog, and so you're feeling for it, and seeing the ghost of another dog and the ghost of another person, but its master just doesn't understand what's going on. So it is pretty good movie. It's I would say maybe 2 out of 5 stars, 2.5. It's not bad, but it wasn't the best movie in the world. But an ideal premise, something different. But just enjoying the spooky season. Hope you guys are enjoying the spooky season, and maybe we'll have some more spooky surprises before this month's over here on CCG TV. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and go out there to your Caldwell library. Go check out books. Go check out videos. You want to see some horror movies for free? Hey, go check them out at the library. You want to go and read a horror book? Go check it out at the library. You want to study whatever is dark and occult in this time of year? You might find something at the library. You can find a little bit of anything. So go out there, enjoy your reading, and have a great day.